Xuefeng-style communism, the highest state of life. Xuefeng. October 28, 2022. The highest state that a person can achieve is that of unselfishness and selflessness. Only by being unselfish can one become a celestial being and go to heaven. Only by being selfless can one become a Buddha and go to the Elysium world. The path is very clear. The question is, how can we be unselfish and selfless? I would like to ask, have you ever met an unselfish and selfless person in your limited stage of life? The most obvious sign of unselfishness is having nothing, and the most obvious sign of selflessness is the absence of trouble, anxiety, worry, and fear. May I ask, have you ever seen such a person who has nothing but also has no trouble, anxiety, worry, or fear? It is without doubt that there is a 99% chance that you haven't seen one. Have you ever seen a fish perched in a tree? Have you ever seen a sheep grazing in the water? Of course, you have never seen it, because fish cannot survive out of water, and sheep cannot survive in water at all. Therefore, if you want to see unselfish and selfless people in ordinary society, it is like seeing fish in the trees and sheep grazing in the water. It is basically impossible. So, where can you meet someone who is unselfish and selfless? The answer is, in the Xuefeng-style communist life program. When communism is mentioned, many people instinctively scoff at it. The reason is very simple: they don't know what communism is, don't understand communism at all, have never lived with the procedures of communism, and have never seen communism with their own eyes. Their knowledge and understanding of communism are just prejudiced concepts that are based on hearsay. As the saying goes, facts speak louder than words. If you want to understand communism accurately and clearly, then go to experience and feel it in the second home that is based on Xuefeng-style communism, the life that was created by Lifechanyuan. The second home that was established by Lifechanyuan began on April 18, 2009. Although it has experienced a series of hardships, it still has a tenacious vitality and still exists on this earth. Why is it that it has been devastated many times and still exists? The reason is that a group of people who have personally participated in the construction of the second home and lived in it understand that Xuefeng-style communism is the highest state of life. It is like a person climbing up Mount Everest, standing on the commanding heights of the earth and looking down at the mountains and peaks of the world. It is also like a person who has tasted succulent peaches, fairy peaches, and can no longer be interested in other peaches, and they will no longer be interested in other production and life modes until the day they die. Except for the Xuefeng-style communist life, any other production and life modes cannot arouse their interest, so Xuefeng-style communism will continue to exist and eventually become the ultimate life mode for human beings. Hark back to the subject: how can a person be unselfish and selfless and climb to the highest state of life? Undoubtedly, fish on trees and sheep in water not only cannot climb to the highest state of life, but this will also lead to their deaths. Similarly, people in secular society cannot climb to the highest state of life. The highest state of secular society is nothing more than becoming a billionaire, becoming a president, or winning a Nobel Prize to go down in history. But the life realm of billionaires, presidents, and celebrities is thousands of miles away from the state of being unselfish and selfless, and it is less possible for ordinary people to climb to this highest state of life. Readers may have doubts or objections to the above conclusions. There is a way to remove your doubts and objections, and that is to find someone other than Christ Jesus and Buddha Shakyamuni to prove where your doubts and objections stand. Can you find someone who is unselfish and selfless enough to have nothing but who can live a carefree life? Can't find it? However, if you look for it in Xuefeng-style communism, you will find that most members are unselfish, selfless, and have nothing, but also live happily, joyously, freely, and blessedly. How do they do it? Why can't you find an unselfish and selfless person in the secular program, but find that most members are unselfish and selfless in the Xuefeng-style communist life? There is only one answer, that is, the soil of this life is completely different, or the procedures of this life are completely different. In the worldly program of life, if you are unselfish, you simply cannot exist. In the Xuefeng-style communist life program, if you are selfish, there is no place for you at all. It can be exaggerated to say that if an angel enters the procedure of secular life, he is very likely to become a devil. If a devil enters the procedure of Xuefeng-style communism, it is very likely that he will become an angel. The reason is very simple, and the sages have known it for a long time. It's like entering a room full of fragrant orchids and getting used to the sweet smell, staying in a fish market and getting used to the stink. The conclusion is that if you want to climb to the highest state of life, you must put your heart and soul into the Xuefeng-style communist life program. There is no other way to accomplish this.